It's pretty hairy.
You can probably...
Guys, I think we'll see. We're gonna see right now. Hey, look at that! Yeah. We're here. Everybody's in. Are we in? I guess we can squeeze. We can squeeze it a little bit. Whoops. It is pretty squeezed. Actually,
we're pretty.
It looks pretty
good though, huh? All things considered.
But typical as in everything in show business, it actually looks a lot better on the screen than it is here.
Yeah. You saying you're uncomfortable right now?
I mean, just a little.
You can't really. There we go. That's nice glare.
I'm fine.
Nice
I feel like I'm on a plane.
Nice glare reduction. So, welcome everybody. Maddie, do you want to do the intro? I was just talking to somebody about how nice your voice is.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Want to warm
you can
up?
thank Mark Marshall. Gotta clear the throat out a little bit.
Let me adjust your levels.
What number? What number?
This is episode 115.
Welcome to the Spick and Span Show, number 115. We have the world champion San Diego Dynasty here, along with myself, Maddie Marshall. We're also going to be graced by the presence of Oliver Lang as he is about to voyage yet again back east to Bali. See the alliteration on that? You got to throw a little alliteration every now and then. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us all around the world, all the paintball people. This one's going to be a fun one.
All right. Maddie Marshall, ladies and gentlemen, his voice was gifted down by angels.
Mark Marshall.
By Mark Marshall, who happens to be an angel.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Dad. God. All right. Well, yeah, we got a great episode for everybody. It is the off season. There hasn't been anything incredibly juicy. I did hear some really cool news. It's not even rumors at this point. It is news straight from the actual teat of the NXL. Right? The left teat.
The left teat.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's where the good stuff comes
Sweeter
from.
milk.
We're gonna drop one tidbit maybe today. I was told not to say anything, but you know how it goes on the Spick and Span show. I gotta say something. But there's something that's so cool. It's like I'm busting at the seams. I'm not even gonna tell Kyle what it is because I know for a fact that it'll get out. So we're gonna actually drop it back on the show specifically. But NXL news a little bit, tiny little tidbit, and a couple other really cool things. We're gonna talk about one-on-ones. I did a one-on-one thing this weekend. You did a one-on-one thing this weekend. I believe there's other people that are doing one-on-ones, and I kind of want to talk about everybody's favorite format because I think Go Sports did the one-on-one thing for a while.
Yeah, we did the
during
ultimate
COVID.
shootout during
I thought
COVID.
that was kind of cool. Very cool elements.
I could kind of tell the story of how that was. I've seen a lot of one-on-ones. I've played in one-on-ones. I mean, it's part of paintball. You know, we got the coin duel, which has been something we've been doing at the event. So, you know, Hormesis and coin duel, Alex and Oliver have been kind enough to, you know, incur the cost of making the red and gold coins that you get, which people have been really stoked on it. In fact, it's actually a giant pain in my ass because people will come up to me while we're live during the show and be like, Maddie, gotta get my coin right. I'm like, bro, we're live right now, dude. We're live.
I was up there with you.
Like, it happens all the time, Kyle. It happens all the time, all day long. But yeah, so it's an integral part of the game, and it kind of always has been a little bit. So we can kind of go down memory lane a bit and talk about all that stuff. And
to answer Schwartz Gable's question, I hope Maddie has enough beer. Well, he only has a 6-pack, but if you look over Maddie's left shoulder, viewers right, there is an advent calendar right there, the Brewers advent calendar. I know for a fact that Kyle, you're gone this weekend, right? First 4 or 5 days of December.
Yeah.
I'm going to be gone the first 10 days of December. So you guys only see us one day a week. So, I mean, we could, if need be, crack that open.
I'm going to need to come on the show, kind of midway through.
Should we hold December. It and just, December 15th and just go through the first 15 days?
I do love me
on
some
the
beer,
first day,
so.
and then every time we open on the first day. On the 10th day!
To me.
Yeah, we could even save it to the 24th. Let's see what
you could do a combination of Christmas caroling and 99 bottles of beer.
You can absolutely do
really
that.
Just nail it.
Yeah. So the 20th would be the final. So that's 3 weeks. That's 20 beers. If we hold it all the way to the end,
I'm gonna need to Uber home.
Do a power hour. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And then just hope that did everybody? You guys do any shopping?
A little bit, not a ton.
I waited for all the sales to be over, and I bought something big today.
That's super smart. Yeah,
I bought a hat.
Do it.
Capitalism at the best. Yeah, this is a very nice hat.
I bought a hat today.
You want it? That's great.
Stetson.
The Stetson's the
That
real
is
deal.
a badass hat. I don't think people understand. I don't think it's coming across on screen how slick that and refined.
No,
that
I'll
hat
tell
is.
you the quick story. So when I was coming back from Florida, I was on the plane, and this there was I don't know if he was young or old. I couldn't figure it out, but he had a cowboy hat, and he kind of had this hot girlfriend, and he kind of had a suit on, kind of looked like he was Devin Odell from Dallas or something, and his girlfriend got up, and I kind of checked her out, and he caught me checking her. I'm on the plane, and this dude stared me down.
You mean the guy whose girlfriend you were
cowboy
checking
hat.
out? Yeah, because you're checking out his
Well,
girlfriend.
you're on the plane. You're like a 5 foot proximity, and he literally was like,
Bro.
stared me down, and I was like, "Oh, this guy's staring me down." And I look over, and then I'm like, "Oh my god, he's still staring me down." And I was like, "Oh man, the cowboy hat guy's intimidating." So I went out and bought myself a cowboy hat.
Very nice move. Very nice move.
I like that.
Very nice move. Anytime that a girl walks by, don't look at her. Just look at everybody who's looking at, because you know you look back and like, does anybody look at me? And then you should just pick people to stare at.
I think
so
it's
that way
kinda-
they can have their own story. Maybe you're gonna sell more hats because of that.
So I think
Even
it's
though-
kind of I think it's hot, like when I'm with a hot chick and then everybody's looking at my chick.
It's flattering.
And I just like grab her ass real
I
quick.
think
you
the
know?
same way.
Everybody's like,
You know?
"Oh."
I mean,
I don't know why you
what's the
get
point of
mad.
being jealous at that point?
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
like I already got it.
That's how you picked her.
But he was a
Yeah.
real cowboy, you know, because
Yeah.
he
Real
stared
deal.
me down.
Yeah.
So I was impressed. You know?
He's like, we're
been a
gonna,
long-
we're
been a
gonna
long
have a
time
duel when we get off this plane.
yeah. High noon.
I like it.
Yeah.
High noon. Oliver Wayne. So,
that.
hey, welcome, Ryan Moffat. Welcome to the show.
Dalton said, "Where's his MVP money? He needs to buy Christmas gifts."
You didn't take your large check to the bank.
I will get you, Dalton,
Just
for sure.
Dalton.
Even though I'm not the one that writes that check, but I can see about the people that do
I
write
wonder
the
if he
checks.
sold that gun.
Did he sell the gun?
Did you sell the gun,
guy?
Dalton? Plus, you got all that merch coming out. Dum Dum Paintball's got some merch.
I seen that. It was a nice shirt.
It was a nice shirt. Nice shirt.
Nice shirt. I'd wear it.
I was gonna say I was gonna make a joke and say you guys should have spelled dumb wrong,
That would have been funny.
and then
but
see what
they
he would have
did.
said. and
Get him
then-
on the next drop, though.
Yeah, we can get him
Yeah.
on the next drop. You guys should have spelled dumb wrong to like really
Dalton
emphasize
still has a
dumb
gun.
dumb.
Yeah, if anybody needs
yeah.
a Lux.
Yeah, if anybody
up
needs a
Dalton.
luck for cheap,
It's a 1 of 2 Lux, so yeah, hit Dalton up. Mm-hmm. That's a badass gun.
lots. It said that's like the ultimate Black Friday. So it's like a Cyber Tuesday deal.
Yeah.
Hit up Dalton and get that Lux. Also, Gen X is still having Black Friday deals. I believe it's all week. Load up on pods. We got a ton of stuff. They sent us like a bunch of. We're gonna outfit like a whole team with barrel covers today, with a pod bin, because we got like they sent us like 30 barrel covers, maybe 50. There's a bunch of them in there. We got a lot of stuff, and then
I
I
feel
got.
like the clutter's starting to seep in a little
You
bit.
feel
I
it? It feels like it's like.
I feel like you gotta
It's
get
like-
a little.
It's
So
like,
it's like-
it's like a blanket.
It's like
Yeah, it's like
a blanket
we're getting
of paintball stuff.
Yeah.
it's getting cooler, so we're adding layers to the walls,
Yeah.
so like insulation.
yeah.
And
Insulation.
soundproofing.
Yeah, soundproof. It absorbs
That's
the sound.
true.
You know that. Yeah, you
Oh,
gotta.
yeah.
You
It's
adorn
important.
your studio with books. We adorn it with cans of Spam,
Yeah.
beer cans, shoes,
Pods.
pods filled with paint still.
Every time I've come on the show, I've tried to give a lot of this away.
Yeah. The very first time Oliver came on the show, he's like, "Hey, let's give some of this stuff away. What's this? Let's give all this away. What's that?" And I'm like, "Oh, this is that's my MVP trophy from."
Give it away.
Speaking of which, if anybody knows a person by the name of Anthony, a lot of us know Anthony's. His name, his screen name on here is just straight up Anthony. He's never provided his address.
No, we did. I have it.
No, there's that the other Anthony.
Oh.
He won this Oliver Lang, and if you were the Anthony that
So we
just
have
has
two Anthonys?
there's two Anthonys. This is a different Anthony.
Two just one named Anthony's?
No, yours had a last name. We checked it off. We got that Anthony. Your Anthony was in the system. This is a different Anthony. Fairly certain.
So Anthony.
So
it's like
if you're
Madonna,
Anthony and you donated some loot last week to the Nikki Cuba fund, please claim your Oliver Lang Pro Finals MVP signed. Champions Cup, NXL World Cup, Pro Finals MVP. Did I say Pro Finals MVP yet?
just a couple times, but you could say it again.
But
It bears
so I
repeating.
got an
Hammer it
update
home.
from Nikki.
Yeah.
You were on the call, so we should give that. And
Yeah.
he was super stoked to get some cash because he said that his hospital bill is outrageous.
Does he-
and
I mean,
he
He
had
has
a-
insurance,
he
but
does.
after that, it's
But
still.
he was driving to go pick up his daughter, and it was raining super hard. And he said he doesn't even remember what happened, but supposedly he hydroplane spun out. Next thing you know,
So it's crazy because so I flew home that day, and it was like one of those flights where you take off, and I looked at the weather where we're landing in Dallas, going into San Diego, and I'm like, oh, it's going to be a little stormy. We hit a gnarly patch of turbulence for like an hour. It was Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Planes all over the place, and the pilot comes on after about 15 minutes, and he's like, yeah, sorry, there's this giant front. We're flying above, actually. There's no smooth air anywhere. And that was the same storm that Nikki was driving through. So
Yeah.
when I heard that he got in an accident, I'm like, that must have been a gnarly storm on the ground.
Jeez.
But he was super grateful, and you know what? I think he really felt the community, he really felt the, people reaching out and the love, and I feel like in a weird way, in the weirdest way, it's going to bring him back to the paintball community, kind of like I came back, and I feel like we're going to see more Nikki Cuba, and he's going to be more active, and he's going to be reaching out to all of us more often, so I feel like...
Yeah, that conversation, I think, really struck home. He's ready to come back, and especially like the outpouring of support that he's had. I know that JT and GI and Boston Paintball are working on some special products to kind of help also with everything. You guys all donated a bunch of loot. I know a couple of you who watched the show after it had aired reached out specifically to figure out how to donate. We sent directly to Nikki. I guess she just gave you guys his PayPal address. I shipped all that stuff up, so you auctioned off your jersey
What'd your
from World
jersey
Cup.
go for?
$3,000.
$3,000.
There we go.
So
that's a nice one, and shout out to that brother who donated that. That was huge.
Yeah, that's massive. I mean, that's a great piece of history, and couldn't have a better cause. We all love Nikki. We used to live together down here, a couple blocks away from where we currently are.
And then you're foolish. You moved away from PB.
Yeah, well, I had to buy a house.
You fools.
You missed last week's show. Was excellent.
It was a party.
It was a party. You should maybe go back and watch it if it hasn't been deleted.
It has not been deleted.
But it was a good
not
one.
yet, at least.
That was a great one.
It was probably one of our best episodes. So if you missed last week's, obviously finish watching this episode, but go back and watch last week's episode because it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
About a 6-pack.
Yeah, we had some beers. I could barely talk at the end after the first beer. Actually,
sounds like the 100 show that we did. That was pretty.
That was
Yeah,
fun.
that was
That was a good one. That was a good one. Also, that was a very good one. Also,
I have a question about this thing. Are you supposed to put it in the fridge? Because that's a pretty big box. Like,
I mean, in the garage, it's gonna stay relatively chilly.
you know what
we
I'm saying?
can get
Like
some
when
ice.
you
But
buy
yes,
this,
no, I
are
know.
you supposed
Yeah,
to like put that in the fridge?
I don't know.
Oh, that's a good question.
You maybe pop it
Because
out.
we're not
put it in the fridge,
European.
and
We're
drink it
trying
later.
to we
I
try
know
to
what
drink
you
our
do.
beer cold. So
You pull it out in the morning, and then you put it in the refrigerator, and then you drink it in the evening. That's a solution.
yeah,
Maybe?
no,
Yeah.
That'd
yeah,
be tough
yeah.
though. You're like, I want to see what beer, and then I can't drink it yet.
So
Yeah,
I
wait
want
till later.
to get to the one-on-one stuff, but we do have our guest is on a bit of a time crunch. I know you are as well, and we're gonna get to all that. But we've got a longtime fan of all of ours, someone you used to play for. When you cheated on us.
Didn't.
So, and we're gonna try a new something a little special here. I think he's a little older, so this whole situation might be a little confusing for him. But we're gonna make this happen.
Calling in a guest.
We're calling in a guest.
It's like calling a friend.
It was phoning a friend. It was kind of
friend.
it wasn't a last minute thing, but it was pretty darn close to last minute whether or not he was gonna be able to jump on today. But this is juicy rumor season, so I want to get this going. You know what I mean? Like we're getting juicy here on the show.
Yeah, we're gonna move this GOG so we can see the Hormesis logo. You know?
Oh yeah. You are absolutely right. I'm gonna do that. Tom.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! Hey, you're in the studio. I'm just gonna show you everybody before I put the camera on you. We got Kyle. You know, I know that you're dusting off the checkbook to try to get this guy out of retirement, but I don't think so, buddy.
What's up, Tom?
How you
Hey,
doing?
Manny.
All right, here, stand.
Welcome back, Tom. We're really happy you're back.
I'm gonna
Hi,
flip.
guys. Thank you so much.
You're gonna make
this.
the off season even that much more glorious here. I can't wait.
Yeah, we're really excited about
you got any
this.
juicy stuff for us? Who you
Hold
going
on.
after?
Oh,
Oh,
Wait,
sorry,
we're gonna-
I can't. I'm just
don't-
chopping at the bit.
We got to introduce Tom first.
That's true.
Look at this.
Oh, wait,
Look what we got
gotta get
going
him
on
a
here.
little bit
Hold
more
on.
framed up here.
Hold on. Booyah.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh, isn't this a nice little touch, maybe?
Kind of.
I like it.
Kind of.
Oh, we're getting there.
Little wonky.
Getting there.
Hold on,
There
over
it
there.
is.
There it is.
Oh, man,
What do we
wow.
say, huh?
Perfect. Nice
Dude.
job, Ryan.
What do you think? Huh,
It's like
guys?
he's here with us.
Your
It's like he's
interns deserve
here.
a raise.
It's like he's floating over us.
Okay.
It's like right
Okay.
here.
We're gonna move this here, and okay. So everybody, welcome to the 21st century, and we've really nailed this. But Tom Four is in the building right now with us, pretty much. Tom Four, the new owner of Baltimore Revo. Prior owner of Team Arsenal, who is a nemesis of ours and also a partner of ours, off and on. So Tom, you're a great guy, and we really appreciate everything, our rivalry in the past. Also, we partnered in Europe a bunch, and you're all around a great dude. Welcome back.
No, Ryan, I'm delighted, and again, it's great to see everybody. And it was, it's really a special time for me at this World Cup to be there. Obviously, Oliver and I've been really close for a long time, and he's like my spirit animal. and so to be there and watch. I mean, I was like almost weepy, teary-eyed watching you guys do it. I mean, we go back. I think I met Ryan and Oliver for the first time when I was with Chris Cole playing in, I think maybe it was World Cup 2001. So you guys were like in your first or second year as Dynasty from Iron Kids, and I met you and Oliver in between games. And Oliver actually gave me his jersey, signed his jersey, and gave it to me. I said, "Yeah, I bet this is gonna be worth something one day." But Chris Cole did that, so that's the first time we met, and just we have such history, and people may not get it. I mean, the first time I got shot out in an event playing as Arsenal in Europe was by Ryan.
It's a great story.
Burned me going to my corner. So yeah. I mean, I'm so delighted, and look, I was away for a long time. I got to see Maddie at the event. I clearly saw Kyle, but Kyle doesn't know who I am. So I saw Kyle and Ryan. Obviously, you and I have been in touch, and I still really want to get you out to in our paintball on the East Coast and set up. I just talked to John Atkins today to set up a clinic, right? To have and you find some time in your schedule and get out there. I think it would be wonderful, and I do think you do the best clinics of anybody that I've seen.
I appreciate that, Tom. Thank you. That's very nice of you.
Well, Tom, just real quick, I want to say from the bottom of my heart, glad to have you back. As I'm always pleading to the gods of paintball and everything else to bring us paintball patrons, people who give a shit, people who care, people who are people of means that are trying to be a positive thing for the people that play this game, which then will cascade down to the people that consume it and watch it at its highest level. So when I heard that you are in with Revo, I was like, well, okay, they immediately become a contender because they've been so good doing roster roulette for the past 3 years. So man, I'm really happy, and you've always been a gem to hang out with. So I'm stoked you're back, bro. Welcome back.
No, thanks, Maddie. And obviously I've always had a lot of love and respect for you as well. And we go back into sort of my early days, obviously playing with you, against you, and everything. And I'm fortunate in my time, as Ryan said. I'm fortunate too. I've probably played with and coached just about everybody. That's got a name in this sport, and I learned a lot in that. And obviously, one of the best year that we had as Arsenal, 09, when Oliver was with us, and JC, who I still like. I am on JC's ass 24/7. Hey, you can still do it. And and he's got a family, and I think I'll get a little bit out of him. But JC's still just phenomenal. He played with Art.
So just real quick, we played 10-man with JC with Cat Factory, and he was just an absolute beast out there in the woods still, dude. He still got it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. JC
he's a nasty man for sure out there.
Yeah, and I think, look, everybody's got their opinions, and again, I've been around probably for a long time, but I think between Ryan, Oliver, and obviously Ryan, like you said, I played with you, and when we played in the American team over in I don't know what it was, 04, 05. But just some of the best of the best, and as I tell people, look, I want to win. As we were joking about it, I want to win, and you guys are. Dynasty is the best. I measure all things as I have since 2004 against my ability to beat Dynasty on a consistent basis, which is very difficult to do. As people are still experiencing, I am in awe of the program and your performance, and you guys as stewards of the sport, and I am. I'm chasing to. If I feel like if I can win against you consistently, then I can pretty much beat everybody else. And they're great teams out there. Seattle Thunder's really just looks so strong, and obviously Impact is a force, and Heat, is a force, and and I'm not taking anything away from any of the other teams. X Factor looked really good, and they beat our brains in, and that short practice that we had. And look, I want to pay homage to the Revo guys. A lot of talent there, and Ryan, you said it best. I mean, we got hurt on Sunday because we had 6 players. We all had some bug that we picked up on Saturday, and we just was depending on the core team, and when we got down 2-0 against Aftermath, and I thought it was a 2-on-2, so I let it play out, and we just couldn't claw it back, and Benny was really sick, and I mean it just it was terrible. There's so many factors in this sport to win. I'm super excited to be back. I mean, my life has definitely been a lot of smiles and some complaints from people close to me that I'm very distracted. In
the best way
that's
possible.
what it is, and I have a wonderful support network, and I'm lucky to be where I am in my career that I can do what I want. So anyway, with that, I'll take a pause and turn it back to you guys.
That's one of the reasons why you never eat sushi at places that you don't know. Don't go out and eat at places. You eat at places. Don't mess around like that. Maddie, you just got to be up in that booth.
You gotta have an iron gut, bro. You can eat
imagine
sushi
if
wherever you want.
imagine if you had to run the booth and you just had the runs all day.
That sounds absolutely terrible.
Oh, absolutely terrible. I was wondering who filled up the porta potties on Sunday morning, and I guess it was Revo. But
I'm definitely in. But it's like there's so many, all the things as to team stickiness, the gelling, the capabilities of the players, the paint, the guns, the weather, and everything else that goes into it. It's hard to win, and it's hard to win at a high level. And I really love the opportunity to do it. I think more than that, though, for me, as you said earlier, and just because of the the feelings that I have about all the people that are part of our very special community. Is that it's just this paintball community really matters to me, and I think I put it above all else, and so we're doing some really cool stuff this year with DC Arsenal and the program as part of our community of paintball. So we'll make some big announcements coming soon, and obviously I'm out here looking for a couple of key pickups.
Wait, hold on. You're out where?
What's that?
Where are you? Are you at home?
No, I'm in Boston right now.
Okay.
So I run a fund up here. So I have an office in Boston.
Okay.
I have office in other places, but I'm in my corporate apartment in Boston right now.
Nice.
And then tomorrow I'm in LA, and then I'm in St. Kitts for 9 days.
Well, that sounds like a nice little schedule. So who are you looking at? Let's go. Come on, you got to have somebody.
I cannot. We're in negotiation. Well, let me just say this, right? We have kept our core is staying with us.
Good.
And I really, all the players on our team have made a considerable contribution. So obviously, I have to endeavor to hold on to the guys we have. We will have a team in semi-pro. And as you know, I helped coach a team, at Philly and at the World Cup. So we'll have teams in other divisions as well that we're supporting. The same way I did it before with Arsenal. I'm not responsible for them all, but they're all part of our training program and our platform. But we've got some deals put together with a couple of key people that I think are going to really help our program. I cannot announce them until their contracts are signed, but I'll let you know the minute that they're signed. And then I'm in talks with a couple of other key people. One of whom, Ryan, you are aware of, and we'll keep it confidential.
Okay.
You and I talked about it.
Well, I only made some recommendations. I never got any confirmations back from your end because if I had known, I would have spilled the beans 2 weeks ago.
I bet you've got to be picking up J-Rab. Come on, just let's see the face when I say that. Huh? It's got to be J-Rab. It's got to be one of them because we played on the team with J-Rab, and J-Rab was kind of your boy, and J-Rab's kind of just impact sucks, and they're going down anyway. So just get J-Rab for sure, at least, right?
No, J-Rab was.
Oh, okay.
I would be certainly delighted if J-Rab was interested in talking to us. I have not talked to J-Rab, and
Dang, that was a bad guess then.
It was a bad guess.
I was just stirring the pot a little bit there, Tommy.
It's we have some really it's there's so many things that go into this, and yes, obviously, I've talked to JC. I don't think I'm going to get him often, but I think he'll come play some.
After you see Oliver come back like that, you need to start.
Yeah, what an inspiration.
Come
on, JC, man. You still got it. I played 10 with you.
JC,
you haven't got fat yet, dude. You can still do this.
Maybe call Nikki Cuba. I think he's ready to come back. We're just talking about him. Maybe, who else?
John Richardson.
Nikki was in a car wreck, right?
Dude, he's ready to come back, bro. He's like Terminator now. He's going to be.
Yeah, he's filled with metal.
We can rebuild him. He's a $6 million man.
What's A-Rod doing?
He's boring.
Question. A-Rod's gettable. He's retired, aka waiting for the right deal.
I believe
he's. A lot of people talking about retirement, but yeah, listen. If Oliver decided that he wanted to play, I'm sure we could put a deal together.
Okay, well, you got my WhatsApp.
And look, it goes back to this, right? Is that the thing is like obviously part of what precipitated me to do the coaching thing was that I was playing. I started playing in April, and I'm 57 now, right? So I started playing in April, and I really liked the format, and it was fun, it's fast, and I'm still playing pretty decent. And then I tore my Achilles tendon in June. And so I didn't have to have surgery, but this is Oliver. This is that repeat injury that I got back when I played on Dream Team in 2008 in Tampa with Marcus and Opie. So
that's one of the worst injuries you can get. How is it going right now? Achilles tears are no joke.
I am walking around, without a limp. I'm doing physical therapy. I should be able to run again in probably 90 days, and so I'll start playing again. I really still enjoy playing, even at my old decrepit age.
Well, that's inspiring, man. Because that means that Ryan could still be winning MVPs at 57.
Well, first of all, Ryan's so much in a different class than I am. But like again, I think probably you, Oliver, Ryan, and JC, sort of my top three, greatest of all time players, and I say that with all sincerity.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I think too, it's like and Oliver, I messaged you after World Cup, and said, look, it's you playing is one thing, and and you're famous is one thing, but the thing is that you really truly understand the power of your influence and what this means to everybody. What you guys are doing, and the fact that I even got invited on the #1 paintball talk show.
Yeah, in the world.
Yeah. Well, also,
nice plug.
The thing is, it's like there is this interesting kind of story that goes on in paintball for quite some time since Dynasty has had its inception, and it is people trying to beat Dynasty. And it's funny because you can beat Dynasty. Dynasty is beatable, but the difference is can you continuously beat them? And can you continue to drive that winning force and the team and get the right clientele? Because there isn't that many that have beat Dynasty, and I will say that you were one of them. You were one of them with Arsenal, and even when I was on Dynasty, Arsenal had a run on us in Europe. They beat us in Europe at one point, and they were one of the most competitive teams at one point. So you coming back in this isn't just you're not just some other Yahoo that's trying to build a new team and get players and beat Dynasty. It's like you've actually done it, and you kind of already have a formula. You've kind of known how to do it, and now there's also heat and there's also impact to beat. So there's a whole another kind of foyer of pro teams that are need to get beaten. And honestly, one of my biggest things from retiring was like, well, who's going to be the next team that comes up and does this? It's not many teams have been able to do it. Some teams get somewhat close. Maybe they have one good year, and for some reason they just get picked apart, and that's again kind of the Iron Kids story. It's like, I remember back in the day there was like AC Dallas or Diesel or whatever they were, and they were like almost there,
close.
And then just disappeared,
So
So you need to have not only the intelligence and the know-how and to create the right personnel on the team. You got to have obviously your type of knowledge and wisdom to be able to create that and to get them over, and then the continuation factor and to keep it going, keep it driving, and keep it alive is a hard effort. And I think that now having you back, it's going to be inspiring, because I hope that you inspire other people with means to come back, or other people with means to say, yeah, we can do this also. And my biggest thing coming back into the sport, and kind of to tap into the show and where this is going to go, is with the one-on-one fever, is we need to build players. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And my biggest my intent for the rest of my career is, and as Ryan has probably taught the most people in paintball, or most people how to play paintball, we need more players. We need more players that are ready to commit to this and to get to this level and to achieve. And we need more people like you who are going to be benefactors, who are going to support this thing, and who are going to be the captain of the vessel and drive it. So we need it's multiple pieces here, and we need it all from all aspects. We need players. We need mentors like you. We need beneficiaries. We need everything. So I hope that this is what comes from all of this.
Yeah. Well, and also with all these watching, and I've been a part of some of these successes and been against, trying to build a team to beat Dynasty, or was on the team that when you guys first came up, you guys wanted to beat, named yourselves after the Iron Kids. Yeah. But the fascinating thing about this, and I didn't realize this at all when I was playing, but Jesus Christ, because it's your enemies are always so. They're always your enemies. Even if they're your friends, they're your enemies. But it's like at the end, you're like, thank God for those enemies.
Yeah,
totally.
Thank God. I never would have known how good I possibly could have gotten if it wasn't for, back in the day, that Aftershocks and All-Americans, and then you guys started beating us up, and we taught you guys some stuff, and then all of a sudden you're better, So then it's like, okay, now we got to beat Dynasty, and then to see it, and then in my position, to watch all this develop, and it's like the heats and the impacts come in, and now if you're going to build a super team, it's awesome. It's fucking awesome as a fan now, because it gives us so much, and it's going to allow a much more fertile ground for brutality and competition, and the cream will rise to the top. And whenever they're done, they'll thank God for the fact that there was a Dynasty to go to try to take down, that there was Impact or Heat or maybe Revo now coming up. Who knows what it's going to be, So it's just. Like, thank your enemies, man, because if you're not playing for your life, then without them, you have no idea how strong you could be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Maddie, I agree with you. And, the thing is, too, is that I see it in a different way, right? Because, I've been around, and there's new owners that I don't think, have the relationships that they deserve, or, are just not ready. Like Alan from NRG, who's really, wonderful to us.
Alan's great.
And, we go down and practice, but Alan sort of still feels like an outsider, I think, and I told Alan, anything that I can do to help him, I will do it to help him in his program, because it's not a zero-sum game. I mean, Ryan Green, Ryan has been, and Oliver and all of you guys. I mean, our relationship as a community, this sort of rivalry that you're talking about is still there. But people are way nicer about it now, Maddie, than back when I first got in, when you were at your prime and stuff. Look, I remember probably one of the most difficult things, and, I don't think people realize that, when we played Europe, I always played pro in Europe, right? And so I played this corner and stuff, and I feel like I was really good at my job. But, one of the hardest people that I've ever played against was Billy Saransky. Back in the old Ironman with Billy Saransky, and he taught me just playing heads up against him, and this is 20-some years ago, right? Playing heads up against him, I learned a lot, right? Just some of the little tricks that he did and stuff. And, he wasn't very nice to me when we played against him because we were on
Thank God for you.
He's
If he
still
was
nice. He's still not nice to me. So
but it made you stronger,
I mean,
it's not always supposed to be nice.
But he's I always had a lot of respect for him and didn't know him very well. And it's the same thing like with B. I mean, I saw, B Paxton at a local event with the team, and and just Mike played for us, and I've always liked him, and so for me it's like anything I can do to help her and their program or anybody, I'll go bend over backwards. I don't care if we're playing against each other in the finals. If I have to lend them equipment or go buy them pods or whatever I have to do, I'm absolutely delighted to do it because I'm grateful that we're all there to do it. And I think what Oliver said about developing the future, this is why I think our paintball fields and our paintball operators need a lot of help. Mm-hmm. They need us to support them because they are literally the foundation on which we are able to do what we do. They're the ones that are buying 100 to 100, 200 skids a year and keeping these big paintball companies in business so that they can help us go compete. We're absolutely the luckiest people in the world, and frankly, I've my lifelong friends, which I count the people here among them. My whole all my relationships, people that still work for me and stuff, all paintball people. And I'm really grateful for it, and I will continue to do it as long as I'm walking around. And since I've recently quit smoking, I stopped smoking back in September, and don't feel like I need them now. I'll probably be around for a while, hopefully.
Oh, it's great. Good for you.
It's good to hear, man.
That's really good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. And like we were talking about it today. I mean, right before you jumped on as we're kind of introducing everything. And I do want to get Alex on because Alex is the king of one-on-ones and he's won.
Absolutely.
He's won a bunch of them. So we'll give him a shout. But let's talk a little bit about whatever you want to divulge about what you did this weekend, because you kind of this is like a brainchild of yours that we've discussed a little bit here. But, one-on-one, is there a future? Like, is that the future of paintball, or is it something that is going to help get people to come to the field more often? And then is it something that you can kind of introduce yourself a little bit more to, because there's a lot of discussion on how one-on-one fits into the team aspect of it. But, why don't you explain that? I'm going to get Alex in here. You're going to look at my forward for a second.
I mean, when I stepped away from this whole thing, and I really realized I stepped away from it, not to really retire, but to gain some perspective on it and to understand it for what it was and what it did for me, because I like to think that paintball had shaped me and had groomed me into who I was as a human being. Shout out Eggs. There's Alex there, everybody. And when we first started playing, Alex and I played one-on-ones all the time, and he usually lost to me, but it definitely. That's
wrong. I beat you, but I cheated.
Yes, that's right. But it definitely, I will say that it made us better players, and the competition dynamic that Alex and I had, and then obviously when we met Ryan and Yosh, there was another dynamic of the competition, and we all forced each other to persevere and to reach heights of our careers that we probably wouldn't have done if we didn't have each other, right? And so when I stepped away, I realized, okay, there's two factors. One is a lot of people just don't know how to practice, right? And I spent my own money and I built like a whole online program that's on my YouTube, and it's how to practice, right? It wasn't really, maybe some people got some from it. It wasn't really done perfectly on my part, I will say. But anyways, there's information there. And I realized, like, okay, well, how do we practice, and how do we become pro? How do we become good? So I looked at my life and I looked at what I did, and obviously, I love this saying that I heard this last night in a movie. It says the key to success is that you're with the right people at the right place at the right time. That's the key to the success.
That's pretty good, by the way.
Yeah, and I love that because I was in the right place at the right time with the right people, and you guys are them.
Absolutely.
And
The right talent, right place, right time, right talent.
And this can go for anybody in any situation. And so now I'm kind of coming back in it. Obviously, Alex is my business partner. Tom and I actually talked on the phone about this idea because it was even before he came to Revo, and I just wanted to connect with him and get him some Hormesis stuff. And I had shared with him kind of a vision. And obviously Matty is one of my commandants. He's the voice of paintball. He probably knows the game better than anybody. He knows players. He's been around through all the varieties of this sport, seen it from pump days, to what it is now.
I'm old. Yes, you're right. I'm very old.
So when I do anything, I want to involve the best people who I think not only are the best people who have the best knowledge and have the best intentions, but who really can help give me a clear reflection on, what's good and bad about whatever it might be. So we've been I've been slowly cooking up a notion of we need to figure out how players arrive to the paintball field. It's not hard to hook paintball players, clearly, because we're all hooked. How do you keep them? And how do they have a stepping stone or a ladder or a path to success? How do they actually achieve professionalism within the sport? And Kyle, he came from North Carolina, and he chased his dreams, and he moved out to California, and he took risks, and he played on top teams, and he's one of the most elite players in the game because he did that. How do you do that? And honestly, it's very ambiguous. It's very difficult. Everybody's is different. And now after something, I don't know, how many years have you been doing this as Dynasty? 40 years? You guys are still winning tournaments, right? And
that's a dig on yourself.
Nobody is kind of, chomping at the bits. Maybe Tom Ford comes in and, makes a competitive team. Yeah, Heat's kind of there. They're a little tired. Impact just sucks. And, it's like, who else is going to beat Dynasty? It's hard. So how do we grow players?
Oliver, let me get this in. I hope I can say this on a show. If not, you can edit it out.
Yeah,
so
right.
My comment was that somebody needs to start swallowing the pro DNA if they want to beat Dynasty.
Yeah.
Well, in a way,
it's a live show, by the way.
In a way that you're right, because what that means is you need to start learning from Dynasty and learning how Dynasty did it and getting the transmission of Dynasty, and in a way, yes, that's swallowing the DNA, and honestly, I truly and full heart believe that the NXL and what they've done and where paintball is at the height. World Cup was absolutely epic.
Considering Hurricane, too.
It was the best World Cup, and I have to give props to Dave and Bart and Tom Cole, the rest of the people. I mean, the reffing was soft, on the pro field. I mean, it was softer than I expected, and that's probably not a bad thing because you didn't have a lot of rec calls. You know what I mean? They didn't were overzealous and messed stuff up. But I thought it was the best World Cup that I've been to,
Totally.
Really
I totally agree with that.
So what I believe is that what I'm working on is nothing but a accentuator to the sport, and what I'm really focused on doing is building players. So how do we refine this thing into a thing that is focused, it's clear, it's specific. You show up here and you do this, and you gain. You can do it yourself, because getting onto a team is very difficult. Obviously fundings, all those things are very complex. So I want to create a structure where anybody individually can show up and start working hard, start practicing, start drilling, start showing up to tournaments, maybe even, bringing home some residual and some compensation from winning events, right? And we need to have this at fields all across America. Like you said, Tom, I'm with you. We need to help fields keep continuously cultivating new players and keeping players attracted, right? So what we did this weekend was we went out. Fran at Cam Pendleton was super helpful, and I want to have a big shout out to Fran because he just really made it happen. And
he's a great guy.
He's a great guy. And we went out there and we built a field, and it was insanely small, right?
Yeah, very small.
We all looked at it numerous times, and we were like, "It's way too small."
Oliver forgot that he was in the imperial system and not the metric system when he designed this.
Yeah.
And so he went out here and he's like, 100 meters or 100 feet?
But it's roughly about the size of a tennis court, and my reasoning with that is that there's a lot of tennis courts out there, and that possibly if we get this off the ground, there's going to be country clubs across the world. There's going to be tennis courts, in parks and places that we could literally, transform into a paintball field. And it's a one-on-one, and it's done with a very small amount of bunkers, only 14 bunkers on the field, and you only need, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 refs if you need it. And it's a system that anybody can show up on the weekend and they can grind and they can play one-on-one and they can hone their skills and they can catch their lumpings and they can play against better players. They can get coins and they can play, against one-on-ones. And yeah, this is a
Dude, that's
shot.
that's so confusing. I literally just had this downloaded.
Why is it playing on that?
Alex, are you playing that?
This is Kyle being an absolute beast.
Oh, I think I know what's happening.
It's playing on your iPad.
That's so weird.
This is Kyle just like.
Hold on.
I
was like, who is
I
playing
wanted
that?
to hear the story of this. There's no context to this.
Well, so-
I knew it was going on, but I was like, damn,
I'll give it.
Yeah, so
yeah,
I'll give you guys kind of like a generalization, and then I'll turn it over to Kyle because Kyle was a demo for it. And actually, yeah, Kyle, you want to take it and kind of paint the picture on how it was to play just one-on-one against a pretty elite player. You played against Clay, who's on the Ironman.
Yeah.
And we set up this small course, like I said, 14 bunkers. You start kind of in this little box, and you're facing down an alleyway at your opponent, and you're like looking at him, and it's only 80 feet away. So, if you're fast and you're elite and you're sharp, you can literally shoot this guy off the break every time.
Sure.
So
sure if
it
I
was
can
really
spin
fun
this.
to watch Kyle do it because Kyle turned on, and he showed like a level of professionalism and athleticism in like Marcelo even called it elite, which I loved because it was elite,
Yeah, I mean it was interesting because the first part that you did, which was more of a team aspect, I was laughing with you in the car myself because like one of them showed up to the gate and he's like 15 seconds. I was like, my gun's not working, which usually we give people crap for. We're like, and then it happened again to me later, and then the other one I got shot off the break, and then that was.
So you weren't prepared.
I wasn't
basically.
prepared.
Yeah.
No.
and
then
he was their pro. You know, so they were kind of like relying on him.
Yeah. So then I'm like, yeah, this is just not my day. And then that was the 3 points that I played. And then, so that we were like, all right, now let's go into full matches. So we played 2 of the stronger divisional guys, and then they're like, Kyle, you're gonna play Clay. And what was the time? A 20-minute match.
20-minute match. There's 30
Just
to
you
10.
two?
Just us 2. 20
Just
minutes.
you two. 20 minutes. There's 30 seconds between each point, and you kind of have like a pit crew, and you pretty much don't leave the field.
Right.
Right. And the pit crew comes and helps you, and then
So like kind of like a tennis.
And they
match.
take
It's
your
kinda
gun.
like a
Take
tennis
your
match.
gun when you run out of air.
it's like
Or
X-Ball
MMA.
101. You know.
Right. Okay.
X-Ball 101. So you played at 10. You got to win by 2, and if nobody wins, or if nobody's like, if it's like 12-12, either the time runs out and then it goes to a sudden death, or it's first one to 15. But no one went to 15. They just went to 10. So,
And it was interesting because there was so many different little like intricacies through the whole match. It's like it kind of simulated playing almost like a finals match at the tournament of where like you go into like flow state, and we kind of started going back and forth, and I was at like 0.4 or 5. Actually, no, this was like 0.10, and it was pretty close at the beginning. 2-3, 3-3, 4-3, and I was getting a little tired. I'm like, man, we gotta get to 10 here. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, we have timeout. Should I call a timeout? I'm gonna gas. And then it was weird. Just like took over, second win.
I get it.
Started like getting, like just visualizing the shot and shooting the guy off the break a couple times, and then just like really going off on a run. But there were so many like different layers inside of the match that where I was thinking of like, what am I falling into doing too many tendencies that he's going to pick up on? I need to switch up my style of play here, trying to like outsmart the guy, because you're even like walking by each other to hit the buzzer. I'm like, I don't want to like look tired. And one of the points towards later, he came, then he let out a big sigh when he walked by me, and I was like, okay, I got him, because I wasn't tired. I'm like, I'm not using a timeout. But it was really cool style of the format, because I felt like there could have been 200, 1,000 different ways to play it, and we only got to see 1% of the style of play. So I thought that was a really amazing aspect of it, and I was just ecstatic. That was the most fun I've had in Day of Paintball in a while.
Yeah, and then
that's a really good thing to hear.
The coolest
all
thing
of us was good.
The coolest thing about it was when we kind of left and we were kind of integrating what happened and was it good, and everybody had good things to say about it. My favorite thing is that I was sitting there by myself. We had already packed up, and I looked down on the field, and these guys that were there earlier to play the team aspect of it were playing one-on-one, and they were grinding, and they literally looked like different players than they were when they first showed up in the morning.
Which goes to what you were saying about building
players, you know. So my idea, and I've showed this to Tom, and Alex knows this, quite well, and obviously you guys have kind of seen it. And my idea is that these fields live at fields, and it's free, and just set it up and play it and grow players and get players sharp and make them, become elite, and then we can start to track them. And then now when Tom's building a team, or when if Dynasty ever needs a person on their team, they can look at this thing and say, wow, this kid is really a great one-on-one player, and he's elite, and he lives in this area, and he lives in Tennessee, and nobody might not know who he is. He could come from out of nowhere, and you could say, well, let's bring him out to try out. Let's play it. I was telling my friend this the other day. He does not play paintball at all, and he literally looked at me and said, wow, this is cool. I could start my paintball career now.
Yeah, you could. I wanted to.
I mean, that was kind of the idea also behind the combine, right? Is to get more people to be interested in just kind of going out and doing drills, right? Just do the drills and then compete in the drills, because you could focus and hone in on your specific skill set. You could master the breakout or the running shooting, you could master the snake, you could master the lateral sliding or whatever it might be, and everybody can be the best in the world at that. And it's got a lot of traction, but mostly it only happens at the combine when we do it, which is going to be in February up in LA. But it's a really cool way, and I don't know if you're familiar with how the combines run, but it's a great way. And Tom, obviously you wouldn't use something like these metrics to get a pro player out there, but if you're trying to fill a divisional roster, if you're trying to fill even a semi-pro roster, Oliver could come back. Hey guys, I haven't played in a while. I want to showcase my skills. Here's my report card. I'm not the best at running and diving and crawling down the snake. Took me about 45 seconds on this. I hit all my targets, but I hit 10 out of 10 with my right hand, 9 out of 10 with my left hand on my breakout shooting. My snap shooting is really good, and my running and shooting was on point. And you literally get a report card, and you can show it to teams, and then you play a mini tournament on the Sunday, and it's all right, I'm Tom 4, I'm looking to fill up my my divisional roster, and I'm going to go up and look at this report card and say, okay, who are these top 10 guys? Who's the best in this? Who's the best in this? And I'm going to watch these kids play in the 3-on-3s and the 5-on-5s.
But couldn't you do this at a pro level now for Tom trying to fill a team?
Absolutely.
You could run a pro combine.
Yes.
Look, there's all these.
We all know though, Ryan, metrics get thrown out the window when the heat gets turned up.
100%. 100%. You're absolutely right.
Playing the game, your ability to snap shoot right and left-handed and hit the target is irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no, right? Because you don't want you could expect that if I go out there and I can't hit, well, this isn't really the greatest analogy, but if I go out there and I can't hit anything with my right, anything with my left, I miss every single breakout shot. The chances of me being also just happen to be incredibly good at paintball, I just can't hit anything. There is a little bit of a balance. It almost kind of weeds out a little of the people, and on top of that, you can tell
you're
who.
Basically describing my game. I can't hit anything.
Yeah. It kind of weeds out the people that don't want to pay attention or they don't want to try.
No, that's not true.
This is multifaceted, but you don't rise to the level of the occasion. You drop to the level of your training, which is why the combines and practice and what we're talking about is so important. Mm-hmm. But also, as important as that is, but to what Alex is saying is, I used Alex Frazier as an example, not because you're old, well, maybe a little bit, but so Notorious, the new pro team, was not doing well in Sacramento, and I had a couple seconds to go talk to them, and they're like, well, what are we doing? I'm like, you guys are treating this like this is a game of reflexes. And though paintball, deceptively, may appear like it is a game of reflexes, that is not what decides who wins and loses out here. Because if I take Alex, and I told, like, how old are you? 23? How old are you? 24, 21? Okay, if I take Alex Frazier or Ryan Greenspan and I put them in a machine and I test the quickness of their reflexes, you're going to beat the brakes off of those dudes because they're 20 years older than you are. But that's not what wins or loses paintball tournaments at the pro level. It's not just your reflexes. So it is both. You do not rise to the occasion, you drop to the level of your training, but if you don't have the ability to put your brain in hormesis, in tense moments, to understand what the hell is going on, to be tested under pressure, and then know what you're made of in those moments, so then you can actually rise to the occasion and have the training. But all of this is all part of that, because then just real quick, but Tom, like you had said, and I love that point, he's like, this is not a zero-sum game. That's what I love about all this. All of this is required. All of this is a facet of success. And what does success mean? that people are enjoying the game, that everyone's like #grow paintball. This is the type of shit that has to happen to grow paintball. These discussions, these moments, these organizations, these things.
So, but this is what
I think just to make a quick point, I think this format is really important because in all the training that we do, and my training is very similar to Ryan's training, for these camp stuff, in terms of the things that I focus on. And it is sort of building that underpin memory so that your first ball's point and that you're doing burns, you're not just guessing where it's going and all that stuff is fundamentals. But I think the thing that this touches on, this format, and the thing that really, really creates the biggest problem on an individual player level, with all the other things that have to happen is that when you get in the big game and you have to do stuff, or even when you're playing a game and you don't have a lot of experience, right? You're trying to manage those inhibitions, right? And so people like this to play paintball as a team sport because they can hide in a bunker and shoot a lane and stay alive and deal with their anxiety and their stress and the things, we might even call it fear, although that's probably pushed too far, but their timidness. Right, and so it becomes that stress level of tunnel vision, and that's where people make mistakes. And so it's this format, I think, is in terms of its ability to train. I mean, the stuff that Kyle was talking about, the ability to sort of train away those inhibitions and allow the person to just operate on a higher awareness. Drug-free, without Adderall. I think it's really, really important. And I also think that this, look, nobody, when you go to the field, right, people don't want to practice one-on-one. People will do it, but as soon as you bring it up, everybody's like, nobody really feels confident in it. And that's why they're the guys that are really good, the guys that aren't. And, sort of the guys that are really good at one-on-one and everybody else. And you can count on, two hands, the guys of all the teams, the guys that are really good ones. And to Oliver's, it shouldn't be that way. And this will fix that.
I will say this. I do enjoy the team element of paintball because for the last 20 years, I run to my bunker, I close my eyes, and I yell, Ryan, they're shooting at me. Please help. And it has worked. It's been quite effective for me. I have, to your point, Tom, been able to avoid the pressure cooker of being in that, everything's on my shoulders situation. If I get bunkered, it's obviously not my fault. And so, I think that, doing really getting involved in this way, especially the way Kyle was describing it, could really bring another dynamic look and also a pathway for a player to prove himself. And you can create some type of ranking system or nationwide scoreboard or something. I don't know, something fun like that. But I mean, I think it's a cool idea, and I'm excited. And I wasn't involved in the earlier part of the conversation, but I will say, Tom, it is really good to have you back in the fold. I lit up when I saw you at the tournament, and even though you were one of my, I feel like longtime rivals, because you did build the team to beat us and successfuley, and you got Oliver at that one point and really, really got under our skin.
That was a dream. Alex, I love you guys, and I love you all the way back to you remember did that party with Marcus at the Ivy when I got that $15,000 bar bill when I woke up.
How much?
$50,000.
$50,000 bar bill for Marcus.
Oh my God, I missed that. But I appreciate you saying that. And again, for me, it is absolutely. I mean, I am humbled to be part of it all and to be able to make contributions to it and to work with players. I don't care what color jersey they're wearing. And by the way, I mean the pit crew and the team, all the players and the support staff and stuff for Revo. Part of the reason it attracted me, and I did have other offers, other team and partner and run other teams, right? But I chose not just because they're in Baltimore and I'm in Boston, but because I got to know Henry and played paintball with Henry. In fact, he's the one that carried me off the field when I ruptured my Achilles in June, and I got to know all the other guys and really do appreciate them. And they do have something special, and I hope that I can add to it. And I think we did have a good event. And if it weren't for that damn whatever it was, or a food poison, or if I had done things a little differently, we could have done better. But I will tell you that I think and to going back to this format, I think that I would be very excited, and I will talk to John Adkins, Oliver, because I think we could John bought PAP, another mass paintball field in Maryland, so he owns NR and PAP, and he's out redoing PAP now. I will work with him. I need to invest money in it to set this up at PAP.
Well, I will say this, as long as you're talking about buying teams and especially investing money, the opportunity to invest in Dynasty is still available.
Yeah. We'd like you to come out and watch it.
You're buying high right now, bro. You're buying high.
You can get a 2-for-1 pretty much.
Yeah. You get a winning team.
Revo, all they need is a little push and a little confidence, and I feel like they've got, they have the guys, they're gelling. It's a bummer they lost Darula and Zupa, but I mean, I will say, the pieces are there, and if you can just give them that belief, and I know you'll let them know you're behind them, and that'll go a long way. So, you're dealing with a group of guys that I feel like are ready to win. They need the one little push.
Yeah, and like the secret is, and I told Alex, I told Ryan that as soon as I get the contract signed, I will give the detail to Spick and Span. I'll let you guys.
It'll be a Spick and Span juicy exclusive.
So like when you go on,
I think I've got the right guy coming in.
Good, and
right.
I'm fairly confident it's not our guys because I know you want to beat us with your guys. You've always kind of wanted to do.
No. He said I want some of your guys.
What's that, bro?
Carolina. I'm from North Carolina.
Hey, Tom, are you going to keep the Revo name or are you going to change it back to Arsenal?
Well, I think the sponsor. So we're obviously finishing up sponsorship stuff now, and I just got a big sponsorship deal. In fact, I'm flying to California to button it up, and it's pretty big, which I'm pretty excited about. But it really is not up to me. Henry, I don't think Henry or the players really care because it's the same thing. We are bringing back the Arsenal, so all these teams. So I have right now, as part of the package, 2 semi-pro teams, 1 pro team, 1 D1 team, 2 D2 teams. So we have a lot going in there. They'll all be
whatever you do, take care of Steven Omar. That fool can play, and I feel like he's rock solid.
Steven is and I didn't really know Steven that well going into the event. Obviously, I coached the practices and stuff, but Steven is, absolutely a delightful guy, and I really love all the guys. I mean, we really did bond.
Yeah, you should grab A-Rod. Grab A-Rod. I know he's friends with Steven, but I mean, their personalities, you might have an implosion. But yeah, I think A-Rod could be good.
I'm aware of A-Rod, and I know him very well. Obviously,
of course,
I do know Mouse and J-Rap really, but I'm not going into a bidding war. It's not fair to the other players on the team if I start doing that, and I don't think we need that much. Obviously, any top players, and I'll put this shout out. If
Dude, please don't bring JC back. I do not want to play against him.
And I begged JC, right? And I told you, I may or may not have made an offer to Oliver before when he went to your practices. I knew he was going to play for you guys.
Oliver is not good. He had a good tournament.
Any imbecile could have done it, bro.
Yeah.
You just go to the X and launch, bro, and then shoot whoever's in front of you, dude. Stay alive, get to the X, launch.
What Oliver can do is he can make your guys believe that they're good.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
I can still do that from, Dynasty, though. You know?
It's called a consultant.
Yeah.
Did you guys see Fabrice on at the event?
Yeah, you picking him up?
No. But you remember Fabrice and Freddie were on the team when in 05.
Uh-huh.
Okay, gentlemen, I gotta go. I got a going away dinner, and tonight's my last night, so I love you guys. And I just wanted to come on real quick and chat and send love out to the Spick and Span Show fans. But continue the conversation. You got
the one-on-one revolution. Keep your eye.
One-on-one. One-on-one. One-on-one.
All right. Well,
love you too. Love you.
hey.
See you, dude. I'll see you guys, maybe in like 2 months.
All right, we'll hold the beer for you.
Yeah, hold the beer. Eggs, I love you. Tom, I love
Hold
you.
it there for you.
I love you, Eggs. I love you, Tom.
Midway
See you
through
guys.
December.
Hey, so look, I mean, I apologize if I've made this overly conversational and it's not interesting, but
No. This is what we're. This is the whole show. The show is all about talking. This is a talk show.
So here's my thing, right? So I just want to say this because the Revo team, like all the guys we have, are fucking fantastic, and I really think that my experience of coaching them before the event and at the event was really, really satisfying, and I really got to know everybody. And to your point, right? I mean, there's Steve Amara is certainly a special guy and a really hardworking guy, and so Chris, I mean, like all of them, Chris.
Don't lose O'Mara or Shear, Tom. Cannot lose those two guys.
Phenomenal too. Yeah, I mean he's.
You need those offense. You need that offense.
What's that?
You need that offense. Chris
No,
Shear
so
and O'Mara have been. I mean, I could talk about your team for a good solid hour because it's my job. But Chris Shear and O'Mara are core component. I know you know this, but do not lose those two guys.
They're not going anywhere. They know how important they are to us, and I think we're really important to them. So they're not going anywhere. And again, to your earlier point, is that I need to work on a little bit of depth. And so and the way we do it is that we socialize the negotiations and stuff with the team once we know they're solid. And everything's confidential. But when I talk to other players from other teams, I never reveal, any of our discussions until we have a deal, right? Because it's just not fair to them. And
right.
And you also have to be fair. Like if I run around and start paying out a bunch of money to get players, I then have to do the same thing for the guys that are there. And so it's a balancing act. You guys have dealt with it longer than I have. And so it's really important. I also want to say that, the same thing with the A-team guys. I mean, I coached them a couple of events. They've done really well, and they've got a fantastic core. And so, my plan is to work with those guys to field the and to add a few bodies and field the semi-pro team. I think they'll do really, really well next year, and I think they're important to our spot as well. We would definitely be shooting Planet as a platform this year. I'm just really happy with Jacko and the support and the product. They make a great gun, and I love those guys. But have fun breaking paint without a force, baby.
Yeah, I feel bad for you guys, but we're also playing against you. So
well, hey, you guys were a WDP team, as you know, I was too, and for me, anything that's not that experience is not so bad. And we didn't really have trouble. We haven't had a lot of paint breaking.
I'm busting balls, dude. Come on.
You will with your new paint sponsor.
Went anywhere. I'm staying with GI, buddy.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
Dude, my dog is ripping ass right now, bro.
That's really fascinating, Alex. Thank you so much for that information. I appreciate that.
It smells so bad in here.
Ryan, it's difficult right now. I mean, since you guys aren't making your own paint anymore, right? The paint world's changed a lot, and I think it's hard to be great in paint right now.
Yeah. I mean, it sure is. I mean, this year we had some pretty fantastic paint. I'll tell you what.
But you were shooting GI this year, right?
Yes, we were.
Yeah. So that's that. I rest my case there. But I'm saying in terms of alternatives, the sea has gotten much smaller and the quality's not there. But I think there's good companies. Look, I love the guys from HK. I think all these big sponsorship deals sort of rely on great paint, and I'm sure HK doing what they need to do to sort of come up with a better product because that's how you get the field business, right?
Yep. And that's also how it works, and luckily you have a partnership with you're going to have some divisional teams, so you're going to go do a lot of volume and paint. So I'm confident you're going to have a really good deal. And so that's obviously a big part is trusting in your gear, as we clearly do.
Absolutely. And like you guys have been with JT for a long time. I mean, I really, I've known Dresser for a long time, Rathburn, Billy, all those guys, and I'm really, really happy with that. And we'll announce our sponsorships. I'm working on a few things, but
good for you.
Yeah.
Well, either way you slice it, I'm glad to have you back, Tom. And I know you're going to do great things. And if you don't, we'll still be there hanging out together, having some beers. So
we will.
Yeah.
Indeed. I'm delighted too. And I get to spend more time with you guys. I spent all those years just watching paintball on, watching Maddie and those guys on the Go Sports thing and whatever its predecessor was. I still watched all the games, all the tournaments. I just was doing other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Wayne Davis.
I love Wayne. Wayne is working with JC up at JC still works for the company. So in 2015 or 16, I had a property management company in New Jersey, and JC and Wayne were doing such a great job. JC now owns it and runs it, and with Wayne, and they're doing a fantastic job. And again, that's just who I am, right? JC is probably one of the best human beings. Aside from being a crazy alien, fantastic paintball player, he's just one of the best people I've ever known. And those are all the guys are all my family. I still talk to Colin Laster all the time, and Dave and I talk about other stuff other than paintball. And
I will say, if you need instant offense, Wayne is your guy. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think Wayne's played in 10 years.
I don't care.
Neither did Oliver.
Sorry about that.
7, but who's counting?
There's a yodeling pickle.
That's about the randomest shit
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
Thanks, Al. That's
Let me
great.
show you guys the yodeling pickle.
So okay, how about this? I've got a great question. All right. Okay, Maddie, you are the new owner of Baltimore Revo, and you need to pick up. First of all, how many guys do you think you need to add to the roster, and who would those guys be based on what you feel that you could acquire? Obviously, you're not going to add Alex and Ryan and Oliver, but who do you think you could acquire, and who would you put on the team? Probably 2 to 3 to 4 guys.
So I would go on the lower end. First of all, if you really look at an accurate assessment of what the guys on that team have been able to do, I don't have my notes here, so I'm just going off the top of my head.
I could scribble on like 50 pieces of paper.
Well, no, I always like to come prepared, but it's just when we're having conversations like this, I like to be specific. But if you look at the ability that Revo has had to get through the roster roulette that has happened to them for impact players and dynamic elite offense moments, right? So Chris Shear has been a massive pickup for Baltimore Revo. If you don't have Chris Shear doing what he does on the D side, the Dorito side of the field, Revo's kind of fucked for the past couple seasons. And then O'Mara is also constantly a threat, though I do feel, and I love Steven, but I think that he's felt the pressure of having to be that elite guy. And so he will die occasionally a little bit too much, more often than
trying to do too many things, being forced.
But if you're O'Mara, like I'm not. This isn't really a criticism. It's just more of an observation because if I was him, he kind of has to be in that situation too, you know. So, but the fact that you have O'Mara, and you have Shear, I thought Benny Carroll was a good pickup for you guys. Again, you know, to not spend the entire time breaking down all of Revo, but to answer your question directly, even though I feel like I got to get my words in, you know what I'm saying? I've been all like a little church mouse back here just listening, but can be a little verbose. But yeah, so I would feel two guys. I feel you need if there is no, and this is a constant conversation. Who's your elite snake presence? When I'm playing against Revo, who am I worried about on the D side? Well, I'm obviously worried about Chris Shear. O'Mara has had to play kind of double duty. He's been very versatile. He showed his versatility, but again, overextending a little bit, dying a little bit too early occasionally because of those, you know, having to feel the pressure of being the guy that's creating offense. But I feel if you guys, Tom, if you could get an elite snake player to like a top level, like best of, you know, like a Kyle Spicka, for instance, no pressure. I'm not sure what's going on here behind the scenes at this stage in the game, but you know, if you could get like a Spicka or, you know, or like a Mouse or whatever, there's a couple different guys that could play this role, but an elite snake player or like on the cusp of being potentially elite snake player, that would be a huge pickup. And then one other guy that can play a little bit more of like a Ryan Greenspan role. Ryan comes at a very high price, Tom. I could be his agent. Sorry, Alex.
And I am for sale also.
You know, it's
Don't think you can't
very
get me.
expensive, but
You're gonna have him.
Somebody said, "Hey Tom, write the check and go get Greenspan." And
Yeah.
I said, "Ryan Greenspan, will die."
Dude, Ryan has turned down so much money. You guys don't even know. He's probably turned down millions of dollars.
I know.
Dude, for the chance to bunker Alex on a regular basis.
So I would say, like,
good luck, bro.
There's a lot of, if you look at the market right now, there's definitely a decent amount of projects and guys that are on the cusp, but you know, the guys that are kind of locked up as those like dyed in the wool first attackers, of an elite snake player would just that one pickup alone might get Revo over the hump, because I do like you know, I think Benny Carroll could be really good, but he's not going to be.
Honestly, Maddie, like Darula and Zupa are both of those guys that you described.
Yeah, but they're not there. But if they can get them
maybe
back,
they are. They might be.
Maybe they are. Maybe those are the guys.
Look at that. Look at
the smile on Tom's face.
You see it?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Right? Like Zupa, I feel like is an emerging elite snake player.
Alex couldn't agree more.
Darula,
He proved that.
he's
He
cut
proved
his
that in
teeth.
Sacramento.
I mean, that dude's just good.
Yeah. So in Sacramento,
I will say this: I was delighted to meet those guys at the event.
tight.
They were really awesome guys.
This is a little announcement right here.
And that would be a very
Dude,
exciting.
they're both awesome guys. And if you could get Zaleski back on top of that, you'd be rounded out.
So
nice.
Zaleski
Go after
was
Dan Zaleski. Get him back on the field. He's still got a lot in the tank, and he's really good.
Alex. That's a really good point, because I feel that Mike Zupa is an elite snake player right now, and he proved that to everyone. If anyone wants to go back or was happened to watch what happened at the Sacramento event, he basically put Impact on his back and carried them to that win. And he won all.
The problem with that is if you go get those guys, then Impact is going to come with ferocity after our guys. So
like they're like, I think, you know, and again, I don't know how you guys are set up. I mean, obviously, I haven't seen Kyle play a lot, but I did see him flying on the website photographs for Spick Span Show. So
His back was hurt at Cup, but he's real fast and real aggressive. You know, I could be his agent too. Hit me up. You know, work out a deal.
But look, obviously, I have tremendous respect for all the Dynasty guys, right? Alex is, you know, you guys, Yosh, everybody. I mean, like, Dalton's incredible. You know,
Stay away from Dalton. Don't you even dare.
If I have to go out and buy doesn't he work in corrections or something? I'll go out and buy a prison.
Oh, we love how you work, Tom. We love how you work.
Mountains.
That actually, and so, but here's the thing, like you know, guys. I mean, you have really great guys. I mean, like, I think Archie is bananas good. I mean, that kid is incredible. You know, and so I was really impressed with him.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Archie had one of those years where we knew that Archie Montemayor was good, but he transcended again this year, and it was very impressive. to kind of really take the reins as a first attacker, essentially play in front of Ryan a lot of times, and they would go back and forth. But that was kind of, again, why it was so hard to play Dynasty, because there were so many facets to your offense. So it didn't really matter at what stage in the game.
Depth, right? I mean, I was making a joke about it, but it's the same thing. Like when we played in Europe, right, 7-man in Europe, and I was playing the corner. I was having to carry my weight. If like in this format, it's a little less forgiving than 7-man, I think. So it's always nice to know that you have a ton of depth around you, and it makes it easier to be to be special. But at the end of the day, it goes back to this point, right? I will take a team of people of average skill who are really playing well as a team, right? And they will prevail when shit gets tough. As long as the skill level delta is not too bad, and that's one of the things that Dynasty does so well. Is when the chips are down, like when was it, Philly, when you guys were down, you had like 2 minutes left, and you were
against
down
Revo.
Yeah, against Revo.
Against Revo.
Against Revo.
Yeah, I was there. I watched that game, and I was like, shit. And so being able to do stuff like that really matters. Maddie, the other thing I was gonna say is that we definitely I recognize the snake need, and we do team. And one of the guys that I've been again, not to single anybody out, but one of the guys that I've been really impressed with, that I've gotten to practice around and watch play, that's from our area, is Caleb Abu from NRG.
Oh yeah, he's good.
Caleb
he's
Abel.
An elite snake guy.
Yeah, Caleb Abel. Caleb is a guy who is like, okay, so I talked about, you have your proven elite snake ones, and I feel Zupa is in that category. Caleb Abel has now gone through his career the past 4-ish years, and every year he gets better. And when you're, again, one of the things I always say is, if I'm playing whatever team, who am I worried about? So if I was coaching and I'm playing against Energy Elite, and after watching, I watch a lot of paintball, obviously, and Caleb Abel, he's a guy, if you have to worry about him when you're playing Energy Elite, because more often than not, he's kind of the guy that's having the big dynamic moves to break things open. So yeah, he's emerging into that. I would have to say I would need to see him be on a team that goes very deep in a tournament to actually be an Elite One.
I mean, he would bolster the roster. So would Frank Antetomaso. He's from up there. I mean, there's guys.
Frank for sure, and definitely Caleb for sure. But Frank, Frank Antetomaso's, he's elite, but he plays on the D side. Him and Chris would be a great 1-2 combo. But you definitely need a snake guy. So Caleb could be a really good snake guy for you guys for sure.
I will say this: I will never forget losing to you guys in Madrid, and Marcus never ever gave me that ever. Like every time I ever saw him, we'd get drunk and he would go straight into that tournament, and I gave it to him. Man, you guys owned us there.
Yeah.
And I remember we got hammered that night in Madrid, and someone found some like insulation from like a building. And we were like wrestling.
Oh, we were fighting with all the styrofoam. It was all the styrofoam.
Cuts all over us. And it was one of those nights I got back to the hotel, and I was like, I put my head on the pillow, and then your alarm goes off like right there. To get to the airport. And I just remember having so much anxiety in the airport, being horribly hungover, just trying to figure it out, man. You guys got us, dude. Fuckers.
That was really good. And it was the thing that made me believe that, all the work and all the effort and all the money that I've spent in paintball, because, I never really took sponsorships. I bought everything, and I always had a bunch of teams that I paid for everything for. So, I mean, I've spent of dollars. And at the end of the day, it was like that made me feel like, okay, like now it really matters, because I understand I knew it was hard. And I tell people, like, winning in pro paintball, don't talk to me about semi-pro. Winning in pro paintball, right, even a few times, is a bitch. Mm-hmm. Really understanding what you guys are able to do and what you've done as a program. And again, just the fact that you really just, you do it better than everybody else. And, I'm excited about the challenge to try to do it close enough.
I still have the image of Marcus, arms raised, running down the field, all gangly in triumph, it's seared into my brain. And even though we lost, it is a great memory.
It really is, and we played really well. I mean, remember the prelims and the quarters in that event, if you remember, they weren't that easy. I mean, at that time, Joy Division was playing really well, right?
Yeah, you had the Russians, you had Joy, you had a bunch of heavy hitters.
Yeah, and we were shooting Angel. Yeah, we were shooting. Yeah.
So I think that what I've kind of, Tom, I don't know if you play a lot of poker, or not.
I do.
Yeah, you do. I feel like you're a poker player. So if everybody just goes ahead and rewinds, see that smile right there? Hold on, give us that one with this a little right there. That's the guys that he's gonna plan on picking up. So just go back and you watch when you drop some names and the smirk he's trying to hold back right now kind of pops up. Those might be the alleged guys that he might be possibly maybe and signing to a contract. So I wrote them down. I'm not gonna say them now, but when we drop the news in a week or two on the Spick and Span show, I'll circle these names.
Yeah, and Ryan, I will give you the commitment that we will that we will get the contracts signed. I'm finishing the contracts. I'm flying to LA tomorrow. I have 2 days of meetings. Then I fly back here, and then I go to St. Kitts. But I'm going to finish the contracts on the plane. I should have the bulk of them signed next week.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then you.
And then allegedly season is juicy season is here. We got to get a new graphic, and maybe like some sort of cool intro, and we'll be dropping a bunch of news because we got some cool news coming in from the NXL. Also, Tom Cole gave me a bunch of really cool insight that we're gonna share. I think coming up in the next week or so as well. So there's lots of really cool things once the contracts are signed though.
Man events. I talked to them about like adding a couple of 7-man events, so you have to win the Xbox and the 7-man to get to be champion. At least win, that would be awesome. And a lot of people
come
want
out
to
of the
play
bathroom about
7-man.
everything. Yeah, did you hear that there was a 7-man at World Cup? I believe there was a 7-man at World Cup.
It was the mechanical 7-man.
Yeah,
I don't know how well it did.
I think there was like real money given away there, like $10,000 or $20,000.
Todd Adamson won. I think they won a ton of money.
Yeah, like $20,000.
Dude, this dog is really sticking your ass in my face and farting.
Ugh. I think you need to.
Guess what, Ryan? You're gonna love this.
Yeah.
So I was like, I smell a dog farts, and I look down on the ground, and I see this piece of wood, and I thought it was a dog toy, so I was just letting her chew it. It's a piece of some kind of incense that Oliver left here. So, but it's wood. It's like Palo Santo or something you're supposed to burn. So that's what she ate, and now she's farting it in my face.
Does it?
He's farting Oliver's wood.
Yeah,
sage,
but it's
incense in your face. It's great.
Alex.
It's a blessing, Alex. You should thank him for it.
Yeah, thanks, pal.
Thanks, pal.
Yeah, hope you're enjoying your dinner.
While you're over there freezing, and you guys don't have heat there or what?
No, I'm thinking about getting a heater, but no heat.
Tom.
So, hey, where is everybody?
I'll give you the tour. So this is my office here. Here's my messy area. And then.
Hey, can you move the camera around a little faster? It looks like we're in fucking Blair Witch Project right now.
My wall of fame here. Dude, check this out. Shout out to Dan McEldowney. This is the medal from the Star Wars throne room scene he gave to me. So that's fitting. And then here's the shop. Got some headbands getting ready to go there.
Nice.
Yosh is somewhere around here.
There he is.
There he is.
Yeah.
Yoshio.
What's up, brothers?
Yoshio.
What's up, guys? He's wearing his underwear on his head.
It's like Santa, like an elf.
Packaging up everybody's Christmas presents.
Workshop. Look, he's making the toys.
Are you guys in NorCal or are you in LA?
We're in NorCal.
Okay.
Yeah, a little place called San Rafael.
All right.
Yeah, so then, got the assembly line going here. Here's Kyle putting together some, look at that.
There it is. Allegedly, dude.
There's been a bit of that here this past couple hours.
And then I think Crandall went home for the day.
Clocking out early.
Roman. Come on, Roman, give us something.
Are you ready?
Spick and Span Show trailer.
It's got a little deep voice.
Talk about
I
how
know.
Silver-
Baritone in
Let's
the
go.
voice. Let's go, Ronan.
Give us
Give us a read.
Span Show. If you want to break up with your girlfriend, watch the Spick and Span Show.
And Tom, we're all down in the three of us are down in San Diego right now. That's where we live. This is where
Paradise.
Doghouse Studios is. As you can tell, we don't need beanies and parkas to sustain life.
It's
in
a
the
little
rush.
cold here. It's like
This is the guy you just got your sleeves.
It's
rolled
like 65 degrees, bro.
Yeah.
It's a little chilly, dude. Like
Yeah.
it may be rough for me to walk to my car. I may need to borrow a parka. Or a
I'm
beanie.
literally in Cambridge, Mass. right now.
I'm sorry about that.
I mean, I really like it here. It's really beautiful, and I don't want to be here in the winter, but
That's the point I was talking about.
Yeah.
Just the winter.
I believe if I check my barometer, it is the dead of winter right now.
Your barometer?
Yeah.
Your sextant?
I'm passing out in LA tomorrow morning. I land at 11, and then I'll be in St. Kitts for 2 weeks
Dude, beautiful.
There we go.
Beautiful.
going scuba diving.
There we go. Look at that. That's nice. You need a little R&R before we go to battle.
Yeah, and then we start practices in January. So, and by the way, I want to give a shout out to Bear, and you guys are certainly giving him a lot of support, and Giant Party Sports, and Hollywood Sports Park, and obviously Bear and I go way back as well, and I'm gonna do whatever I can to try to sow some love out there, and work with Gio and Bear a little bit with our program too. Because what I'd like to do is organize getting together with you guys and practicing, in between these events as well, and getting if I can get you to go to Texas, we can come out there. That would be awesome.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Play, dude. Don't worry, we got you.
Actually, and Tom, I just because I was just up at Hollywood Sports this last weekend. I did a clinic on Friday, Saturday. Did a little one-on-one tournament with Todd. Clinic was sold out. Went incredibly well. It's a killer deal. What they're doing, they're really getting back to the roots of promoting tournament paintball. I think that they've understood and realized Gio and Bear they just turn their back on tournament paintball to really maximize the amount of players that come. But then they realize that without tournament paintball, no one is a returning customer. No one really wants they're just there and then they leave and they're there and they leave. So they are actually I don't know if I'm allowed to share this or not, but I'm Bear. I'm going to share it anyway. But we're going to be really working. I'm going to be working with him in particular about ramping up the tournament scene at Hollywood Sports and at Giant Party Sports down here in San Diego and the SC Village Arena. So they're redoing all the SC Village arenas. They're going to put in, I think, 4 or 6 brand new turfed fields up there. And kind of, because that was the mecca of paintball down here. It was SC Village. And now...
redo that would be really important. And again, for me, obviously it's easier. I think Dallas is, right now, tomorrow, my flight this time of year, because there's no tailwind, 6.5 hours one way. Correct. So in the spring and summer it's not as bad, but we'll certainly make that work. And I knew about what Bear was doing with Hollywood Sports Park, and look, I think it's really exciting. I mean, obviously people don't remember what the tournaments for the MPPL was like when WDP was doing them, or what the Millenniums were like. I mean,
that's right.
Some of us remember, Tom. Some of us remember.
It was basically like the Hormesis tent at World Cup.
That's with
a lot more sand.
That's
though.
not a lie.
lot more sand.
Not a lie.
But yeah, no, we gave away $1,000 for the one-on-one champion on Sunday. There was I think his name is Alex Placentia out of he plays at Hollywood Sports and Ambush. He took the challengers.
Who did he beat?
He beat the other guy. I think was named Love is the last name, Mike Love maybe. And it did a Sweet 16 bracket. So if you fall down to the loser bracket, you got to fight your way out.
What's the entry? I'm just saying because
entry was $60 with a case of paint. Then you had to buy field paint only. And he got $1,000.
No, that's amazing. I'm just saying if you were a local player and you think you're really good, that could be an opportunity for you to try to go make some money.
That's the move. And we're gonna do a lot more of those, and then with more prizes paid down lower. And then we had, Brian, I see Brian's in here, but the long shots showed up. 2 guys from San Diego, Cameron and Kyle, both really good players out of this area. I think they play at Giant.
And also a big shout out to Todd Martinez, who's a big part of this too.
Oh, Todd, Los, and Gary actually all ran the entire thing. It was crazy. It was kind of like similar to Gary from Moondoggies, baby.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. It was crazy though. Like, so you'd play the one-on-one,
yeah,
similarly to how you guys were doing it, but it was on a full field. It was slightly smaller than a full field. And as soon as the point was over, the buzzer went off, you only had 20 seconds to start the next point. So you had like a really strategic way to play it if you went up by 2 points. It was a 4-minute match or race to 4, I think, or race to 3 or 4. So if you went up a point or 2, you could let the other guy come into your guard, and if you win or lose, it doesn't matter. He has 20 seconds to run all the way back, get paint, and tag up.
Yeah.
So you get 1 timeout if you need air. So no one really ran out of air.
Yeah, air's not really an issue.
But you got to think of, we shoot each other and we're like out. He stops the timer and you're like, oh, okay, cool, he's out. And I gotta hustle back to the other end, grab a couple pods, top my loader off, and guys were like still filling up when the buzzer hit blew, and then they had to tag up and try to play the one-on-one. So it was a pretty cool way to do it, because you make these guys like you're really getting gas. Guys were getting gas.
I feel like that's no matter what the format of the one-on-one is, that is very important because it adds athleticism and conditioning into it. So I think it's a big part of it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was pretty cool. It was a really interesting format with the 20-second timeout in between. Just because that's not a lot of time. And so I played both. I played the first and second place players, and I kind of stayed back in my my little zone back there, and kind of like let one of the guys come a little closer, and then I beat him, and he had to run back, and I knew the rules, so I just quickly ran over, loaded up, and I was like watching him. They're like scurrying around, like wiping off old hits. So
we're taking advantage of the fact you had already shot him. He needed to wipe his hit off, and
salty
dog Ryan Greenspan got him again.
Too. Yeah.
Hey, somebody's got some feedback going on. Oh, by the way,
it's Alex. You should try to have a conference call with this guy. He's just incredibly unprofessional. He's usually crinkling papers in there. He's got some sort of keyboard from 1996.
Clack, clack,
yeah, clack, 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 clack. He has no idea there's a mute button on his phone. This guy, look at him. He can barely. He's got his gloves on.
Hey, I just wanted to plunge something in here. Maddie, I didn't get a chance to come up and see you guys in the booth. Obviously, your commentating partner, Rich Telford. I have we were grinding it out, and Rich, I give him a lot of credit because Excessive was a real force back in the day, and Rich didn't have a massive budget. He was literally playing and doing it, and they performed very, very well. And I always had a lot of respect for him for having done that. And it's much of what you watch the growth of what Travis has done. Mm-hmm. And have a lot of support. I think you guys have done a wonderful job of building a business around paintball and stuff, and that's why I give you so much credit for what the impact that you've had. But yeah, I look forward to seeing Rich in person. So,
well, I will tell him that you said some kind things about him because he'll be happy. Because contrary to popular opinion, Rich is not a complete asshole. He's a really nice guy when you get to know him. Some people literally, I think it was one of the guys from England, maybe one of the Lucky 15s, one of the English pro team that came over, and oh man, one of the guys I want to go say what's up to is Rich Telfer, but he just seems so mean. I don't know if I can walk up to him and say hi. I'm like, no, he's actually really nice. You should, contrary to popular opinion.
Matty, did you guys see Robo at the event?
I did.
I did not see. I'm kind of stuck in one spot once the event starts, and I don't really get to leave very often.
Yep. Mind blower, because I saw Robo and Fabrice almost at the same time, I saw Art from Rage because JC was, and I always liked Art a lot. Guy.
Blast from the past.
Great dudes for sure. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, the community people. I still walk around that event, all the stuff that I've done, which pales in comparison to what you guys have collectively accomplished. But when I go to these events and I see these teams, these lower level teams, or 5 teams, or even at the local events, it really lifts my heart. Because I remember, when in the 90s when I was playing Templars 10-man stuff, when I first started I started playing paintball in 87. I started playing tournaments, in the late 90s, because I just wasn't in the tournament mode then. it just really lifts my heart, right? To see that all the feelings that they're having and how exciting it is for them. I mean, it's still exciting for us, but I think it's much simpler for them, right?
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that. It's funny because I do talk about this quite a bit, but I think it bears repeating is that. And you had said this, that a lot of the people you work with in your, obviously very successful regular life, is that you employ a lot of paintball people, work with a lot of paintball people. But paintball people, you really learn a lot about a human being when you're involved with whatever it may be, whether it's a big game group or, one-on-ones. It doesn't matter. This is one thing. You can play paintball one-on-one, or you can play it, 3,000 on 3,000. But being involved in that, it's very easy to be a nice guy when everything's going well. And in paintball, one team wins and everyone else loses. So mostly things aren't really always going that well for you, So and you learn very much about what exists in the core of a human being's soul. So that's why I call that the gifts of the game. And yeah, there's a lot there. So I just think it's super fascinating that that the people that have been involved with it at a high level for a long time really do cultivate those relationships, because it does make a lot of sense. That's just like a very obvious thing. It's awesome. So I wanted to kind of co-sign a little bit on that.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate it. And I do want to figure out, Al, what you were talking about earlier is that we need to figure out I want to figure out how to make prize money bigger. I even talked to Tom Cole a few years ago about an invitational one event 7-man, sort of like Bunker Fest or the Amateur Open or whatever, and just putting a big prize pool in there. And you'd have to, in order to maximize the prize pool, you'd basically have to partner with the NXL and do it probably in the location where they already have all the equipment and stuff. But I would definitely put money into that. So if we came up with an idea, and you guys remember, look, you rallied to the call. When the MPPL went under, man, we need to save this thing. And you were the first people I called, right? I think it was Alex that I called. And we got Bart and everybody else on board and pulled that off. And and it had its own challenges, but because of that, Bart was able to get this deal put together to do the NFL when that got in trouble. So I feel like we contributed to our own outcome. And Bart is a phenomenal guy with a ton of resources, and I still like him a lot, and I still like Dave a lot too. So I'm delighted. Part of the reason why I was so excited back was that my friends are running the event, right, which is great. What I'm saying is that if in conjunction with this, what we're talking about with this one-on-one stuff, if we wanted to, if you said, hey Tom, we need 50 grand or 100 grand or whatever it is to put together something that helps the sport and helps us, our business stuff of paintball, you let me know, and I'm all about it.
Hey Tom, I need 100.
Hey Tom, we need to spruce up the studio to.
We need to upgrade Spick Span Studios, Doghouse Studios.
I'm glad.
Just let me know, but here's the other thing. I wanted to point something else out, and is that Hormesis is doing some sort of partnership with Sandana, and obviously Mark is on our team, right? And I don't know what you guys are doing, but I think this is the spirit of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys are both in the same business, obviously doing something a little different, but they're two important brands by people working together, and it's not like it used to be where everybody was trying to put everybody else out of business.
Yeah, here you're right. I'll read you the prompt from we did a collab last year too. Right here, and the note in the box, and it was less about the product than it was about the statement that we were making by doing it, right? Because people were like, oh my God, Hormesis and Sandana, they're going to be battling it out for market share, and I was like, that's just not the case. We're buddies with those guys. Mark's a cool guy, we're into it. So it goes like this. This project is dedicated to the spirit of teamwork, coexistence, and growth. For far too long, paintball companies have battled with each other instead of working together. Our collaboration is a statement that healthy competition is helpful in the growth of our products and our industry. It's a reminder that it is acceptable to work with each other, and sometimes it may even be beneficial to help the people you perceive to be your adversaries. Who knows? You may even become friends. So like that's the crux of it, right?
Fucking men. And that's like, I think the biggest lesson from all of us that went through the wars back in the day, when it was this versus that and this versus that. Like, yes, okay, I understand. At some point in time in the world, things are and can be a zero-sum game. If you have a field that's 5 minutes down the street, people are deciding whether they're going to play at your field or that other field. But of course, someone can own a bandana and rock a bandana. And some people wear two at the same time. You can wear both, or wear that one and have both represented. And I think moving forward, if we could take one lesson from all of the goddamn chaos that set us back for 20 fucking years. And I would like all of the mavens out here, everyone that's listening to this is a paintball maven. You all love this, you understand it, and you can take this narrative, which I think is the important narrative. We're not adding bullshit on this. Like, this is what it is. When I'm giving Tom or Alex props or these dudes props, like, that's heartfelt because I've been through some bullshit, And so when you see good people that give a fuck about what we're all trying to achieve here, which is grow, again, I can't, it rubs me a little bit the wrong way sometimes when I see people #grow paintball and they don't understand what that actually entails.
Right.
Because I've having been through so much shit over the years. So, absolutely, Alex. Amen to you guys.
Yeah, and Tom and Maddie and Ryan, you guys have watched, the whole thing with WDP and Smart Parts suing each other and
out of business.
Smart Parts trying to beat everybody else to get a TV deal, and like it just. Trying to get ahead of the other guy isn't necessarily the answer. It's just make something cool and good, and everybody pile on.
I have a metaphor for this, and I think this is a really potent one. Okay, so if you clear cut land, the very first organisms that come in are weeds. Okay, and over time, a diverse ecosystem evolves in which all of those entities coexist. The fungi helps feed the trees help feed the fungi. All those things give shade and food to the organisms that exist there. And then, and then slowly but surely, it gets very complex. And it's all a very diverse and symbiotic ecosystem. And that is, you could use that same metaphor for paintball. Again, this is, we could spend an hour talking just about this, but I just wanted to kind of put that out there for everyone because that's the fucking truth, dude. So, and people need to know that shit.
It's funny talking about this.
You've always been one of those guys that wants to just enjoy it and have fun and make a place for people to play this game. And you've been bipartisan the whole time. You want to do what's right for the guys. That's what you're doing. You're a maven, like Maddie said, and almost one of these guys who's like a shepherd or a protector of your crew, and that's amazing.
I was telling
praise
Ryan,
to the sheepdogs.
I was telling Ryan earlier too that I when we were out at the field doing the one-on thing, Oliver was like looking through his bag. He's like, "Dang, I gave all my headbands away. I don't have a headband to wear." And I was like, "I can go. My other team that I coach is here. I know they have extra Hormesis headbands." He's like, "Just give me one of yours." I was like, "You're gonna wear a Tiger
that's
one?"
what I'm talking about.
I was like, "Dude, they're right over there. Let me get you a Hormesis one. This is your thing." You're talking. He's like, "Dude, it's all right. I'll wear it." And then I was like, that was cool of him.
And it's such a yeah.
Alex, why don't we use this opportunity? I will do it offline, but let's come up with a collab. For Hormesis, for a headband that represents community, right? And we'll come up with something that's like, that's thoughtful, right? Let's do that.
Absolutely, you got it. We'll get to work on it.
Yeah, I mean, and look, we did it too, Tom. Right? We did it with you guys, Dynasty Arsenal. When we teamed up, it was
Dynasty
like
Impact.
Dynasty Impact. It was like the two powerhouse teams, but it was because we both wanted to go. Obviously, Dynasty was not financially always able to do all that, but like we all had the common goal of wanting to go to a place to play paintball, to compete. Whether we were competed against each other and literally fought for first and second all season, it didn't matter. It's like we've always had that mentality, and I think that's awesome. It's such a great, relief, and it's obviously gives like hope for the world, right, and humanity.
But it's the truth,
that there's real people out there.
It's the fucking truth,
yeah,
man. Like
it is.
that's what it takes. You see this in your own community. I mean, interrupt, but it's
no. That's
you see this in your community, man, with your neighbors. It's like if you don't know your neighbors, what are you doing, dude? Go knock on a door and say hi, man. It's that's how we all got here. All of humanity. As a fucking giant history nerd, like that's how we all got here. Like it was, You know, it was us against the tribe against the hill on the other side of the hill. But when you play this game long enough, you realize that, okay, yeah, the tribe against the hill in paintball, it's all still paintball, man. And this is the thing, like, no one's coming to save us here. Okay, so Red Bull is not just going to descend from, you know, the ether to come in and write us $1 billion check to, you know, #grow paintball and make this the NFL. Like, that's a multi-generational quest. And so we're all a part of that. And obviously you have the prime movers. That's why, you know, I love that concept of a prime mover. You know, somebody moves first and then people move from that. But each individual, you know, given their own merits, can provide somebody to be a prime mover within their own microcosm. So be that person, man. You know, you could be that person in your community. And people will help you. Once you start something, people see it. You know, that's how you get sponsorship. People are like, oh, how do I get sponsorship? Well, you be a positive prime mover. You be somebody that moves things, that we're like, oh, do we have to deal with this person because look at what they're doing over here, whether it be in media, you're telling a cool story, you have a rad paintball team, whatever, you're an antagonist, whatever it may be. So, sorry, but
it's passion, man. That's what we need. We need passion. We need people that are on the same page. And
shout out to Chris Odom in there.
Yeah, Chris Odom.
Chris Odom.
And look, like, everybody who's watching this, you guys are part of the movement, right? You guys are all on the same page. There's a reason that you tune in every single week for this. It isn't just because Alex is not very funny. It's because
he's very funny.
Yeah. Not because we want to hear us.
Happy 40th birthday too, Alex, by the way. Happy birthday.
Stop it.
Happy birthday,
he gets
Alex.
no more of these, dude. He's been celebrating his birthday for 4 weeks.
I was up there for the surprise. It was awesome.
Yeah. Down, Ryan. Kiss my boots.
Sorry I was so hammered drunk at your birthday party, Alex. I'm sorry.
Tom, I didn't get a chance to thank you. About like 45 minutes ago, you had mentioned something where you sided with me over Alex, and I did want to notate that here, and I do appreciate that. I want to roll it back to about 45 minutes ago when you were re-emphasizing what I had said. Supporting my opinions over Alex, and it's always a great
very rare.
It's common, but it's just a great breath of fresh air to see it from, you know, just everybody.
Listen, Tom, when you're dealing with Ryan, it's like dealing with a small child. It's like this: if you want to go eat pizza, you have to pitch the idea of going to eat cheeseburgers, and then Ryan will then say, "Let's go eat pizza." So it's a lot of reverse psychology dealing with this guy, a lot of stroking, a lot of making him feel good and comfortable about himself, and then you can bend him to your will.
Tom's been checked out. Tom's been checked out for a little bit here. Yeah, that's exactly how I answer Alex too. Let him talk and ramble for a little while. And be like, yeah.
I want to interject something. Somebody just texted me about the comment that I made about Alan and NRG. I think you know, my statement about Alan and NRG is that he's been an awesome steward of the sport, and that we are delighted to be working with him, and that I want whatever I can, and I'm, you know, the other pro teams with, you know, with a lot of time and experience there. You know, I want to see NRG be a top performer there, and you know, certainly do anything that I can to help support you know, their pursuit of that. So just to make that clear, you know, I think those guys have special, and they've got a great benefactor and leader up there. He's a lovely guy.
You're like, I'll start by picking up Caleb Abel, their best player. I'm just kidding.
Hey, that's how the game works, dude. You know, like, it's what it is.
Oh, believe me, I know all about how the game works, Matty.
Oh, believe me.
Oh, believe me, Alex.
Me.
I know
oh,
you know.
Believe me.
I know you know.
The only reason I'm still playing is because of how the game works. I wish I could just gracefully ride off into the sunset, but I can't because they just keep quitting.
Yeah.
Well, and you're still good, so
someone
keeps you're still good.
Some
you and me, bro.
Yeah, some rich asshole keeps coming around every 5 to 10 years and stealing our players.
This would be the greatest coup ever if it was Tom. Tom's gonna come in and steal 2 of your guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Alex, I certainly can't play at that level anymore, but I think you're still way young enough, and I think you guys have still plenty of time left.
Young at heart.
Wait.
No, but I mean, you can still send the young, faster guys up to do the first part of it, right? And you can just,
Alex.
the first part of it.
Yeah.
He still does the first part of it. Most of the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Well, hey guys, there's been a a little issue with our computer charger, and our battery is draining at a rapid rate.
Ooh, that is
so.
not a good
And we're
sign.
coming up on the 2-hour mark. So I'm gonna thank you guys very much, Tom. I hope that when we talk next, and you're gonna be the contracts are inked, you're not gonna be like, okay, and the guys that I picked up were Dalton and Mike Urena. Suck it.
Where's Kyle? What part of North Carolina are you from?
Wilmington, little beach town.
Yeah, I'm from Greenville.
Okay, and I went to Greenville a lot
lived
when I was
there
playing with
20,
Gridlock.
30 years, and I spent all my time in Morehead City and Atlantic Beach.
Hang on, don't try to get to know our guys here. What are you trying
Kyle
to do
would be
here?
a big pickup for you guys right now, bro.
You need to stop
Big
that.
pickup
I see what
for
you're
you guys.
doing.
His back's healthy, bro. Trust me.
I see what you're doing. Trying to connect on a personal level.
Are you wrapping it up, Ren?
Yeah, we're at 8% battery. For some reason, the charger stopped working, and I don't want to pull it out and put it back in again.
It does look. Yeah, that's a bummer.
That's a red. That's
That's
red.
Hey, the gremlins have
And
struck.
by the way, as a final closing statement, I'll be happy to guest anytime. I also was thrilled to see Chris Lasoya at the last event. To guest anytime, I'll get you the information. And I repeat, obviously, if there's anything I can do for anybody in this sport, right, I will do it. And I think people know that. And I'm especially delighted to be back with you guys. People I respect, people that I want to win against, but also want to win with.
Welcome back,
Dude, Tom,
Glad to have you. You're the man. And I'm going to go find myself some pro DNA somewhere.
Tom, the feeling's mutual, man. We're so super stoked. Like you know, I've been trying to get you on the show as soon as I saw you the other week, and we've been talking a bunch about getting guys and who you should do it. But
Again, I'm super honored to be
Greenspan.
Revo family and have the guys there, and I think they're going to do great
That's a
things
lot of money, right?
next year for years to come. So
And if you had,
what?
sorry, go. If you had the stamina to
Let's
make
hear
it
it.
through the whole show with us, head over to hormesispaintball.com after the show ends, and I'm gonna throw some headbands up on there for you guys.
There you go. There you go. Cool.
gotta
Don't
get
you,
the
it's not.
patrons.
They're not live yet, but we'll make it live here in a couple of minutes. So yeah, Tom, dude, thanks a lot, man. You were great on the show. Great personality, everything really great for paintball. So we appreciate you. Obviously, everybody who's going to be getting a fat contract from you is also going to be very appreciative for what you do, because you know, we work hard, guys. The paintball guys work hard, man, and it's it should be rewarded accordingly to how it is. And so we do appreciate everybody who comes in that has enough dough to be able to support the players how they should be supported, and you're one of those guys. So thank you.
Our guys, the Revo guys, existing crew definitely deserves it.
Absolutely.
They're right there. They just needed the extra help. I think they're going to do huge things, and we're just trying to make some adjustments to give them a better chance at the tops. And the other characters are we're coming in tournaments, not to make Sunday, but to win tournaments next year. So we look forward to it.
Let me see it. I can't wait, dude. So happy we got another paintball patron. And if you're out there and you're listening,
Tom,
if you're a man of means or a woman of means and you want a pro paintball team, like, there's a place for you. We can make a place for you.
Yeah,
so.
come by Dynasty. Stop messing around. Stop messing around doing all the hard work. Come over here, glide right into a smooth win, and
it's gotta
sit on
be
the
more
throne.
fun to beat us, though.
Nah.
And it's funny that to me it's like like I would absolutely back you guys and play with you guys anytime. That would be an absolute thrill. But again, the challenge is that is I want to win, and I want my guys, the guys that I'm coaching, to be able to win, and I the best teams or the best of the best, right? You cannot not just every now and then, but doing it, because that's when you know you're doing something right. And these guys, the Revo guys, needed to give them everything I can to try to accomplish it. It's within their capabilities if we do the right things, and I know you guys are going to do the right things.
I do appreciate that sentiment, man. It really is, genuine and heartfelt, and knowing that your motivation is, to see the look on your guys' face when they win.
Yeah, to be with them and to share that moment. And again, there's, not just we're the only thing. I mean, there's a lot of other great teams and great programs and great that are out there too. And that's what makes this so exciting is because, like I said, winning in pro paintball at this level is really fucking hard. It's really hard. There's so many things that you have to do right, and it's really hard. But we know what it's like, and you expect. I don't know how many damn trophies y'all have won. How many events have you won in your history?
I don't know.
Probably like 58 now, 59.
Yeah, 60.
Maddie's apparently counting.
No, it's probably close to 60-ish. It was 50 like 2.5 years ago, and I want to say it was 50-ish. It depends on what we're counting, but this is obviously fuzzy math.
You had 27 straight tournament wins in 05, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We're about to go down here.
Also, before we sign off, Go Sports is looking for a few paintball editors. If you guys edit video or are interested in doing so and know what you're doing, hit me up because we're trying to do big things next year. And
Dude, I've got guys.
some
I've
more
got a
firepower.
whole team.
Let's do it, dude.
Yeah.
We need some editors.
And best of all the paintball community. And if I don't see you guys, happy holidays.
You too, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. Thank you for what you do.
All right.
Later.
Thanks, Tom.
Bye.
See ya.
See you soon.
All right, guys. That was an awesome interview, with the exception of Alex being in there, taking up a little bit of the screen time. But we want to thank everybody. I hope you guys all had a great Thanksgiving. Check out Verbal on YouTube. Return of the King Part 3 is coming out. Visit Gen X. genxglobal.com. Make sure you guys load up on pods and Podcaddies. They got a bunch of packages still ripping the sales.
We got another Go Sports coming out, Defining Moments, our end of the year documentary. We're hard at work at that right now. I'm trying to write the intro for it.
Writer's block. Just for the record, Ryan, in my book, you're the king.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
The Mummy King.
Stop talking about how awesome Ryan is, Alex.
I appreciate it.
Jesus Christ.
We've got a couple tank tools courtesy of H2K, Carl Markowski. We've got a ton of prizes here. We've got Podcaddies. This Podcaddy has got. Can you grab a couple barrel condoms out of there?
Yeah.
Gen X Global's got a bunch of barrel covers. So I'm going to be giving away 2 of these full caddies. And they're going to be with 5 barrel covers inside of them in each. The Real Cujo and Thomas Gay won those. So look at this. 1, 2, 3.
It's just raining barrel.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So yep, you're getting all those. And I'm going to set up 2 of those packages. The tank tools are going to Alex Avila and Jaden Moyer. I've got one more spin to go here to give away one Hormesis headband, courtesy of the Spick and Span Show. And and Roman Jacoby.
Battery for one question.
Yeah, what's that?
Okay, so this was mentioned on the show. It's the name. Whoever gets it, I'll send one of these headbands to. These are the ones that are going to be dropping on the site right now for you guys. After the show's over, of course. It's the name of Ryan and Yosh's first paintball team. First person to throw it in the comments, I will send you a band.
Okay, and go.
That'd be funny.
In the meantime, I'm spinning the wheel one last time for a headband giveaway. And then remember, as soon as this show is over,
Still good. Is that guessing?
is anybody guessing?
I don't think so. I mean, like, what's it?
I don't have.
As it is.
I'm
just like shocked that it's not working.
Lap Factory, Lofty.
Mix a.
Ryan's mom, ding, 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 ding. No.
Did they get
Usually stays.
It was mentioned on today's show by Tom, but it was the team with the same name that he talked about multiple times.
We might be lagging.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Was it not Lofty?
No, it was not Lofty.
Lap Factory, the Doodle Bugs.
I'll give you another one. It's
no, there's not. There
was also a TV show with the same name.
I mean,
yep, that's got to be it.
The little ticklers.
Little ticklers. That's a great name, though. I love that.
Way to go, Carl.
The little ticklers.
Oh, we're starting to lose it on everything.
Yeah.
Hey, team, there it is. Jaden Moyer.
Jaden Moyer. Jaden Moyer also won a tank tool, so double up for Jaden Moyer. Also, the final headband that I just spun on the side is Mixe Fiacchio. I might have butchered that, but congratulations, all of the supporters who donated to the show. We really appreciate it. I'm gonna buy a new